My last video on Tether has gotten a lot of unexpected attention, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to show you exactly what this channel is all about. Because in about 10 seconds, half of you are going to thumbs down, unsubscribe, call me an idiot in the comments, and I'll never see you again. Good. The other half, we're going to be on the same page. You're going to get what this channel is about, and you're going to be the audience that I'm looking for. And that's because I am about to defend Tether. Wait. Before you leave, you have to understand why I'm doing this. You see, if you're going to make an argument in one direction, you need to understand the other side of the argument just as well. If you can't describe what the other side of the argument is, then where are your own beliefs coming from? You're not being intellectually rigorous, and you're not challenging your own views, and probably what's happened is that you've fallen prey to this echo chamber that we can create for ourselves. With social media and a million different news sources, you can find any information you want to go and back up whatever you choose to believe. If you want to believe that the world is flat, great. I can find you 10,000 people on Facebook who think the same thing. So that's what this channel is about. It's about being intellectually honest and rigorous, and there's just not enough of that on YouTube. So if you're interested in that kind of content, you've come to the right place. Now let's talk about Tether. My first argument is that whether you like it or not, whether you use it or not, you are benefiting from Tether. We talked about in the last video how difficult it is to move fiat money around in this crypto world. So if you're a person or an exchange and you want to move around fiat, there's a lot of barriers in place. And Tether gives you that option of moving crypto around instead of US dollars. What this allows is easier arbitrage between the exchanges. So if you don't know what arbitrage is, let's just say Joe over here has an apple that he's willing to sell for $6, and Sally is looking to buy an apple and she'll pay $8. If they don't connect, if they don't meet each other, what I can do is I can say, hey, Joe, I'll buy the apple for $6. I'll sell it to Sally for $7. I keep $1 for myself. Sally gets her apple. Joe sold his apple. Everyone's happy. And this is a service that's good for everyone. It basically stabilizes the prices, and the same thing is happening in crypto. Tether lets the people that want to do arbitrage on crypto quickly move their money from exchange to exchange. They do that same kind of transaction, and all the prices should stabilize across all the exchanges. So this is good for you. Even if you're not using crypto at all, basically what it means is you don't have to have an account at every exchange to make sure you're getting the best rate. The people doing the arbitrage are going to make sure that the rates are roughly equal between all the exchanges. Okay, the next point is about audits. And everyone likes to criticize Tether because they haven't released yet a full audit. The issue is that audits are hard. And this is what Tether's said and what you could maybe believe. Because when you're asking someone to audit you, essentially what you're doing is you're saying, hey, we're this brand new company doing these crazy new things in this crypto world, and you're an audit firm. Why don't you come in, take a look at our books, and then at the bottom of this audit report, you're going to put the reputation of your company on the line and sign off and say, yeah, everything looks good. This is something that's really hard to do. And if you can imagine, if you're Tether and you're trying to get a company to audit you, you're probably going to have a very tough time. I'm not kidding when I say that they have to put their reputation on the line. If you're not aware, there are currently 4 major audit firms in the world. They're called the Big Four. But there used to be 5. And the 5th audit firm was the firm that audited Enron. And when Enron collapsed, the fraud that happened there, the reputation of Arthur Andersen, that last audit firm, completely went away. They lost their place in the marketplace. And this company that used to employ tens of thousands of people with billions of dollars in revenue is a shell of its former self based on this loss of reputation. And these are inherently risk-averse companies. Literally, their job is to reduce risk in the marketplace. So if you own an audit firm and Tether comes to you and says, hey, do you want to look at these books? You're going to say, hell no, I don't even want to touch crypto, okay? There's too much risk involved. So naturally, Tether's going to have a hard time finding someone to audit them. And even if they did get an audit, okay? So they get a reputable audit firm, they come in, they sign off on everything. Is that really going to satisfy people? Because at the end of the day, all an audit is just a promise from someone else that they're being trustworthy. It's, that's not them opening up all their books and making it public and telling you who they bank with in every transaction. You can't see those things. We're coming from crypto world where you can more or less see everything that's going on. That's not the case in normal business, and no business would want to open themselves up to that kind of scrutiny. So I think even if they did release an audit, there would still be tons of skeptics out there, because truly there's no way we can know on a day-to-day basis 100% that everything is above board and there is this $1 backing all these tethers. Okay, so my next point is about the exchanges, because a lot of people like to be critical of the exchanges and say they're complicit in this fraud as well. But if you think about it, really, who has the most to lose if this Tether thing eventually does come crashing down? It's the exchanges. Yeah, there would be a lot of individuals that, if the price came crashing down and everyone had to flee out of Tether, the individuals would end up losing some money, but it's really the exchanges that are holding on to this Tether for you. And if that becomes worthless, then the promise that they received from Tether, the company, to always be able to get their US dollars out of that, once that promise is broken, the exchanges are going to lose the most. And if you look at the top 10 exchanges, 5 of them are using Tether as one of their main trading pairs. It's also worth pointing out that the exchanges we have today are way more reputable than the exchanges we had like back in the day in the previous video when I was talking about Mt. Gox. If you're not aware, Mt. Gox, it was the big exchange in like 2012, 2013. Mt. Gox was actually a recycled domain name that was used as a Magic the Gathering online exchange. It morphed from a Magic the Gathering trading card engine to a crypto trading engine and somehow became the biggest exchange in the world. It was early days, okay? The people that are running exchanges now are real professionals. They know what they're doing, and every exchange that's using Tether has to put a huge amount of trust in it. So if they've put that trust in it, probably we should put our trust in it too. After all, they might have more information than us. If Tether doesn't want to fully, release their books and give this information to the public, if they're trying to get more exchanges to use it, then they might open their books to the exchange just to prove to them that they're legit to get another customer using Tether. Okay, the last point I want to make is that people are critical of the printing of money that happens. And my first defense of that is that these exchanges, if you look at the volume of trading that happens on them and the fees that they're taking, they're making millions of dollars a day. And there's lots of different exchanges. So if they're printing 100 million in Tether, it's possible that the exchanges are giving them 100 million in US dollars for all these tethers they're printing. And the printing of Tether is there's no way you can have Tether without being able to control the supply and thus control the price. The last printing spree that Tether went on was roughly January 15th through January 19th. They were printing and issuing about a new 100 million in Tether per day. And if you look at the Tether price during that same period of time, the price is above $1, even just like a penny or two above the dollar. So what that means is in order to create this stable currency, they have to get more tethers into the market. That's the only way to increase the supply and drive the price down so that it goes back to that even dollar. Now, obviously, the criticism is that they don't have US dollars coming in to back up those 100 million or 400 million tethers that they're making, but really, if you think about Tether as a bank, they're holding way more reserves than a typical bank would. For example, in the United States, a bank is required to hold 10% of their customers' money as reserves. The rest can be loaned out. This is the fractional reserve banking system, and this is how, with the collaboration of the central bank and private banks, that allows the creation of money. So if Tether is being honest and they truly are holding $1 for every tether that goes into circulation, they're actually holding reserve that puts them at a way smaller risk of this run on the bank kind of scenario than even the banks in the United States who only have 10%. So even if you assume that they're lying about this 1-to-1 ratio that they have, even if that's not true, they're still providing a valuable service to the marketplace. and it's going to be the exchanges that take the biggest hit if it all comes collapsing down. All right, so there's my defense of Tether. Obviously, these are not necessarily my views, but what I wanted to do is just get this out here, that this is not a channel just to massage your current values and make you feel good about the things you believe. This is about challenging what you believe and being rigorous and honest with yourself and seeing all sides of the debate. That's what I saw was missing from YouTube. There's just so much bad content on YouTube, and I thought I had a unique perspective that I could bring to YouTube. So buckle up. There's going to be a lot more content like this, and for those of you that made it to the end of the video, I want to start building a community around people that are going to be rigorous like this. So I'm starting a Discord channel starting it today. Link is going to be in the description. If you want to be around other people that are thinking kind of the same way and challenging ideas, go ahead and join the Discord group. And guys, like I said, there's so much bad content out there, but you can vote with your thumbs up and with your shares on social media to see more content like this and less content from those bad YouTubers. I also need artists. As you can see, the art on my channel is non-existent. I literally made it in MS Paint. So if you're an artist, hit me up on Twitter, Bobby Seibert on Twitter, or join the Discord group. I'd love some help in making some art for the channel, and you would get to display it on the channel. So hey, that's cool for both of us. Anyway, that's it. This was Cyberspace. See you next time.